is
Eggs.
eggs. The number one ingredient for this is salt, not egg. Yeah, we're gonna need more than that. Here's the idea. We have to lay down a bed of salt, create little divots, put the egg yolks in them, and then cover it entirely with salt. Okay, so now that we've got them in their nice beds of salt,
6 egg yolks coated in salt.
now we're gonna add some salt.
Just what they need.
And you basically cover them until they're gone. So now supposedly we refrigerate them for 4 days. So we have the ones in the container that should work the way that 5 Minute Craft says, and then Nate has got his own in a bowl. That should be our control. For our next trick, we need the pineapples.
Right.
Cool. Go ahead and discard that top. If you would be so kind as to flip that upside down onto the plate. And you're done. Here's the idea of this one. If you turn the pineapple upside down after cutting off the top, they say that this one is going to last on the counter much longer than this particular pineapple. So in the video, it shows 2 separate containers full of water with parsley in it. Now, one of them they covered in a plastic bag and then secured with a rubber band, and that one showed that the parsley stayed nice and fresh and healthy, and the other one was wilted and droopy. Let's try it out.
So I have a rubber band stretched around the jar.
Yep.
Like this. Here's a Ziploc bag. So I'm gonna take the parsley. You can see the stems are nice and in the water there. Seems pretty likely to me that the rubber band is what's gonna help. Over the plastic, holding it in place.
I'm getting rid of all the droopy ones right now because that doesn't seem like a fair test. The next hack we're going to try is with our squashes. I can't remember what kind of squashes these are because you took the tags off. These are the same types of squash that they have in the videos. We're going to cut both in half. Now it shows one where they put salt on top, sprinkled it just on top, and then covered it in saran wrap. And then the other one, it just looked like they had left cut. And then it says with and without, and it shows one looking very well preserved and one not as preserved. All right. Salt. We're gonna take a decent handful and just sprinkle it onto the top of one of these. They didn't even quite cover the whole thing, it was just most of it.
I'm assuming that we're supposed to go with the idea that they then spread it out to cover.
No, it sort of looked just...
Kind of just through the...
Yeah, it didn't look any different,
Right.
It looked just like that.
Plastic wrap just gets thrown on
Plastic
this
wrap.
pile puddle.
Okay, just like that, they just noop right down. That was it. So let's go ahead and do the same with the other. And you said you wanted to put these in the fridge.
I think fridge is what most people would do to preserve squash.
Okay, let's leave these for a week and see what they look like. For the last hack, we've got some avocados. Now, the idea with this is that the enzymes from an onion are going to help an avocado last longer. So if you have avocado leftovers, it's sliced up, you can put it in a container, add a piece of onion, and it's going to last? We're gonna find out.
Okay. And then we're going to do a control, cutting an avocado the same way
in
a similar container, no onion.
Yep, and we'll leave it for a week. Well, it's been a week.
More.
It's been more than a week. We've left these sitting for a while because we wanted to see what the difference was going to be.
After a week, we were just like, let's give a few more days. We want to see more deterioration.
And a few of these things we can see right off the bat don't look the way they did in the original video.
No.
So, parsley.
The parsley that's in water
and not covered looks great. It looks
Healthy
alive
and happy.
Happy and still green. And looking through the plastic bag, it looks like our parsley has started to bleach a little bit.
I'm very confused.
These weren't near a window or anything, so they weren't getting burned. They're not too hot, but you can see we've lost a lot of green color.
That doesn't look healthy. I wouldn't want to eat that parsley. It didn't kill it.
Certainly didn't save it, though.
No. If you're gonna just leave parsley out on your counter, don't worry about the bag.
Jar seems to work pretty well.
It's great.
It's nice and healthy. We had an avocado with an onion and an avocado without an onion, both in sealed containers in the refrigerator.
Now, supposedly the idea was that the enzymes from the cut onion was going to help preserve it, and at first glance,
they look identical to each other, not to when we put them in. Although neither one looks like it's gone bad. Like, neither has gone completely brown.
Does it taste like onion now?
It's still slightly mushy, but like in the good way that you want an avocado to be. Does it have the onion taste?
Oh yeah.
So that's probably a great thing to do for guacamole.
Yeah.
You can just infuse the onion flavor into your avocado.
If that's something you like, then absolutely, that's kind of funny. It didn't help preserve it at all, but it definitely added some onion flavor. See what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
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 That is onion flavored avocado.
I'm quite curious about this one. So these were our control yolks. We just put 2 yolks in a bowl.
Okay, you have 2
They
yolks.
look like 2 yolks in a bowl. Oh, that's probably a little different texture. Looks like maybe some moisture has escaped.
Okay.
There's a kind of thick membrane feel to it from the
These
outside.
ones should be almost like cookies. So yeah, we're actually going to want a tray to cook the eggs on. Somewhere in here there's eggs.
Oh, that looks kind of gross.
Bake at mystery temperature for 15 minutes. I'm not sure why this would be your ideal situation for your egg yolks, but if it turns into something delicious, I've been proven wrong.
I'm going to try rinsing this one off.
Sure. Okay, we're just gonna go with 250 for 15 minutes.
Well, here's our squash. One we piled some salt on, covered with plastic. One we put plastic on with no salt. The one that we just put plastic on looks completely perfect and basically unchanged from the moment we put the plastic on it. Although
looks
it's bonded to the plastic a bit.
interesting. It looks just like it did in the video for the one that they said they covered with salt.
And then the one that we did add salt to, the salt has sucked a lot of the moisture out of it to the
It's-
point that it's like collapsed. Or was it?
Almost feels rotted.
It's physically smushier. And just way worse.
You've taken the moisture out of it, you've turned it into a spongy texture. It no longer probably tastes good.
So here's our pineapple that we did nothing to but set on the counter. It looks like a pineapple.
Sure does. And here's the one that is better preserved, supposedly. Great.
Mold! It's moldy pineapple now. Yay!
You cut open your fruits, guys. There's gonna be an expiration date. It's not gonna preserve them to cut them open and put them upside down on a plate. Don't do that. No, this is just what a cooked egg yolk looks like. So I think they just put raw egg yolk on top of the noodles. Because this looks like a cooked egg yolk now.
And there's, it had that translucent,
Yes.
more orange sort of color to it.
Yes, they did. And then they just sort of cut it up into bits like this. And then this went on top of the noodles and it's supposed to be delicious. Enjoy.
Still, oh my goodness, salty.
I guess if you were using a lot of egg white for something and you just needed to preserve all the egg yolks so you weren't wasting them, just put them in the fridge, guys. Don't cover them in salt. That's not necessary.